Hello there again everyone, and welcome back to my channel. It has been a hot minute since I filmed, but with school holidays and working from home and having child at home all day and no time to myself while he's at school, then I just haven't had a chance to sit down and film, which I absolutely regret because I just love filming. So that being said, I thought I would film today a autumn, fall, even though we're still in September, kind of back to school everyday look, because you know I've just seen a lot of these being put out there and I just thought I'd give you guys my take on it. So I'm just going to jump right into it. So getting the hair clip back, and oh, that's not very good. So I'm going to do my brows really quickly, and I'm going to use the Beauty Bay Brush Up Brows brow soap, and I just spray a little bit of setting spray in this. I just use this Pixie Glow Mist one because I don't really like it on my face, but it's like an activator for things, it's okay. And I'm just going to grab my spooler, give that a good whiz around in there, dig out some product, and then just brush that up through my brows. Now, it does take me an absolute age to do my brows because I am very unsymmetrical when it comes to this. Like here, I only have half a brow. If you've watched any of my videos before, I generally tend to do my brows off camera, but I just like, I mean, you don't need to do this as part of your everyday routine. You can just brush them up. If you have them laminated, even better. But I just like to feel like they've got a little bit more control, and I just use a little Q-tip, a little cotton thing, to just brush off the excess around the brows. And I'm going to go in with my NYX micro brow pencil, and I have the shade Espresso. I love these NYX pencils, they're absolutely amazing. I've bought them again and again and again. And I just start at the bottom of my brow and I draw out the shape because I don't have a lot of brow that I do feel that I need to give myself a little bit of shape. And then just bring the tail down there, and then I will just pencil them in. I know the fluffy brows are still in, but I have kind of been liking like a semi-fluffy block brow at the moment. Does that make sense? Like, I don't think block brows are back, and I definitely wouldn't go for the 90s brows again because, I mean, look, don't need to. But like, not quite as fluffy, a bit more intense. I have always liked a bold brow. Not gonna lie, that's my vibe. Okay, so once I've penciled them in, I'll just take the spooler on the other end of the pencil and just lightly brush them through. Doesn't matter if they go a bit messy or if you move any products around, because you can just tidy that up with your eye base or concealer, and that is the brows basically done. See how that brow is so much like arched and higher than this brow? I say it all the time, but it drives me crackers. So I'm going to go in with my B Superdrug brand Flawless Concealer. And this is the shade Fair, and I'm going to use this to carve out the brows and just use as an eye base. I don't really rate it much as a concealer. If you like a more liquidy consistency, then it's going to be right up your street, but I bought it to give it a go, and now I just use it as an eye base to use it up, basically. So I like to pinch my brush just to brush off any excess and give me a nice crisp end to my brush. And this is a P. Louise number 706. Is it 706? 7064. Can't see because of the light. And just carve out the brows. And I don't like to go too close to the edge because I will bring them down. I don't want them to look too harsh. So I kind of do that, put a little bit more product on, and then tidy it up by going a little bit closer to the edge there and just bring it out slightly. So obviously I have already completed my skincare routine. I've done cleanse, tone, moisturise, serum and a moisturiser with SPF in it, because I do find that if I do put an extra SPF on my face, it doesn't really absorb that well into my skin. So I do just use a moisturiser that's got an SPF in it, which does me fine. I am a little bit tanned at the moment because we have just come back from Turkey. We had an amazing time. Okay, so now that's done, I just like to take a fluffy brush and just blend out that concealer, especially with it being like an everyday look. I don't want any like harsh lines, you know, we're not going for a massive bold look today, we're going for a nice everyday look. Back to school, back to work. If you've been working from home with your kids during the school holidays and you want to change it up a little bit because the weather's getting a little bit colder. I mean, I'm wearing a jumper today for like the first time in months and months and months. Even got the heater on in my shed, which I've not had on for God knows how long. But today, as it's a little bit more up everybody's street I was going to do like a pinky brown look for an everyday look. So I'm going to go in with my Morphe palette, and this is the 9V, so this is one of the Morphe Artistry palettes, and that's just got some lovely mauves, pinky tones, ideal for the autumn, and my Jouer Metamorphosis face and eye palette. And I just love these two colours here, they just speak to me so much. I use them quite a lot, so I'm just gonna bob through what I would do every day. So usually if you were going for a more bold look, you start with a crease colour, but I do kind of err towards putting the transition colour on first, like we used to do back in the day for an everyday look. So I'm going to take my Zoeva Luxe 221 soft crease brush, and I'm going to go in from the Dewy palette. I'm going to go in with this lighter pink here, and I do tap it through first. So what I generally tend to do is tap it up through the crease, and I do go a little bit higher simply because I have got hooded lids, and if I'm going to do my makeup and I'm going to put the effort into it, I want it to look like, I want you to be able to see it basically. So I still kind of tap it, and I will tap it round into this outer portion of the eye just to create just a nice look. I mean, you could just bob this through your crease and have done with it, but you know, I love makeup, I have a lot of makeup, and I'm going to use it. A lot of people will say to me, you know, God, it's a lot of makeup to wear every day, but I have a lot of makeup, and I'm not going to let it sit there and go off or perish or expire or whatever you want to say to it. I'm going to use it. And then once I've patted that in, I will just blend over the product. It is easier to blend once you've patted a little bit of product onto the lid. And that's not just this eyeshadow, I've just found that as a rule in general. Okay, so now that's done, I'm going to go in with a more dense brush. This is the PC22, which will give me more, it'll pack more colour on for me because it's not as fluffy. And I'm going to go in with this colour right here. I probably did have a sheet on this that told you what the colours they were, but I don't know. So it is this one. And I'm just going to get a bit on my brush, get a bit of product on my brush, tap it off, and then just tap it onto the outer portion. And then just tap it up through that crease and just build it. Those colours just really complement each other, really, really do. And I'm just going to run a little bit just on the outer portion of my lower lash line, because this is an everyday look. I don't want to go too much, but I just want to include my under eye. And I'm just going to take the original brush, the original fluffy brush, and I'm just going to not put any excess product on it, but just blend those two together, just so it's not harsh, because again, it is just an everyday look. See the difference, how gorgeous that looks, and how they, I mean, they are very similar colours, but the deeper colour does just stand out that little bit. So that is that. I mean, you could go in with a nice shimmer. There is a gorgeous shimmer on this palette, with it being an everyday look. I'm just going to go in with this like matte white, and I'm going to bob that all over the lid and then over the brow bone. So I'm just going to take that on this Morphe BR4. I'm just going to go into that and then just tap that all over the lid. See, just sets it right off. And I'm going to take a small amount and just blend that brow bone just slightly, just to like blend it into that concealer, because that concealer can be quite bright. And this isn't like a pure white either, it does have like that little pinky undertone. Okay, so now that's on, I'm just going to go back in with the deeper colour right here and just deepen that up a little bit. So this is like a mauve colour, like a mauve brown, but I just find it's just really nice. And just go back over slightly, don't have to make it too intense. And then just use the fluffy brush just to blend it out again. So I find that this does make my small eyes look a little bit bigger as well, which is what we want. And that is basically the eyes done, apart from mascara and a little bit of eyeliner. But before I put those on, I'm going to go in with my primer, just so it's got a few minutes to sink in before I go in with my foundation. And I'm just going to have a swig of coffee, pumpkin mug, first outing, new background, all Halloweeny. Loving it. I even have my spooky candle there. It's called Scream Berry Punch. How amazing is that? That's just a cheap candle from like B&M's, but I love them. So I love this blur stick, but rather than just rub that on my face, I like to rub some on my hand and then just put it onto my face that way. You probably could do that with a brush, but you know, I've got hands. And I find that if I do rub my hands onto the product, it kind of does warm it up a little bit and just makes it just set a little bit better on my face. And the reason I'm kind of using a blur stick one is simply because I have been on holiday and I've got like quite a few open pores and a little bit of unevenness where I think I've still got a little bit of tan here, freckles everywhere, and people love freckles, but if you've got them you generally don't love them. Okay, so I'm going to curl my lashes and I'm going to go in with my Christian Benetton, a super mascara volume that I got from TK Maxx. Probably a while ago now, but I've only just really started using it. I suppose you could bob a half lash on if you wanted, you know, if you're that girl, but I have a child to get ready in the morning, so that's not happening on my watch. So coat the lashes and then give them a little wiggle up. Try and get a bit of volume. Okay, so that is a really cheap mascara that I did get on sale, but I do feel like it just gives me a lovely everyday lash. And I'm just going to bob a little bit of a nude eyeliner through the waterline. I'm going to go in with this Primark Creole eyeliner in some kind of colour. Don't know which colour it is. It is just a really nude one. And I'm just going to bob that through the waterline just to open up my eyes and brighten them up before I coat the bottom lashes with mascara. Then we're going to do the lashes. We're going to do the bottom lashes. Okay, so and now time to go in with a concealer. And I'm going to use my Tarte Shape Tape and oldie but goodie. And this is in fair beige. And it is quite a lot. So I just take excess off the spoolie. And I'm just going to put a little bit around my nose, some here, down my nose, and then just give myself a little smile with that. And then I'm going to go in with my Coco Cosmetics by Chloe, Coco Cosmetics by Chloe sponge, and I'm just going to blend all of that in with the sponge. I love this sponge. It does look quite pale, but when I put my foundation over the top it will be absolutely fine. Don't panic. I just feel like everything that I blend with this sponge blends like a dream. I do think I'm going to have to get a couple more. I have got some Real Techniques ones that I do love, the Real Techniques brushes, in my drawer, in my new in drawer, ready to be used first. And I have got a lot in a jar that just need cleaning. Depending on when you clean them though, they still look like so stained. Please, can someone tell me how they like get the stains out of them? I've seen people put them in washing machines and stuff like that, and I've actually tried that with a couple of old sponges and it never works. So I'm just going to blend it upwards into the temple as well, just to give me that more of a lifted look, because you know I'm old. Okay, so that is concealer done. I look super pale now compared to the rest of me that is still tanned from my holiday. It was 34 degrees in Turkey though, super hot, but amazing. And I'm going to go in with my IT Cosmetics Your Skin But Better CC Plus Cream, and this has an SPF 50 in it, so you know you're going to get a bit of flashback probably if you're taking any pictures. You shouldn't be, you're at work or at school. Kids at school always take pictures though. This is like a little mini one, and I bought this to try it, and I do love it that much that I have got a full size one as well, waiting to be used. So I've just put a little bit of product on my hand, and I'm going to take that same sponge but take this part of it, and I do like to tap it in to just warm the product up a little bit, and I always start on my nose and then blend outwards. I just find it gives me just a more even coverage. I did forget to tell you the shade of this. This is the shade Light, which kind of does go with me when I have a tan. I do have to warm it up with a bit of bronzer, but it does kind of go. I am paler than paper, so there we have it. That is just a super nice coverage. It's not too much, but it's not like really light at the same time. It's not like too, it's hard to describe. It's super hard to describe, but I just love it. Like it's thicker than a BB cream. It's more coverage than BB cream, and it's like a light foundation, but a little bit better. Okay, so I'm going to go in with my Laura Mercier translucent under eye setting powder. This is a brightening powder for the under eyes, and I'm just going to take this on a little sponge and just pat that under my eye. And before I do that, I'm just going to give this another little blend in, just make sure there's no creases, because if I set while there is a creasing, then I will have creasing all day. And I've got a little bit of powder on my bottom lashes, so they're now white instead of black, but I will fix it. So I just leave that to set for a little minute, not too much though, because I'm not baking, because I will get creasing, but if you want to bake, you bake. I will bake. Now, I've not tried this product before. It is a Sephora. I picked this up when on my recent trip to Venice, in the Sephora there. Setting powder. It's an 8-hour mattifying pressed powder. So you know what, I'm just going to give it a go with this foundation, just see how it goes. If I can get the bloody thing open. Aha! We are open. So that is the product right there, and this is the shade beige, medium beige 25. So I'm just going to go in with like a fluffy brush, pat some on. Oh, there's a lot of fallout considering I'm just patting it as well, and then just lightly pat that on the face. Okay, that is scented and making me look slightly orange, but we'll go with it. We'll go with it. I mean, you could just use a translucent setting powder. I'm just going to brush my under eyes away. Give that a little brush away, because I think that's making the powder look even more orange than it actually is. It doesn't look that orange there. It looks quite nice, but it's looking quite orange. Okay, that doesn't look too bad now that I have patted it all the way over and wiped that excess powder from the under eye. Just blend it in a little bit together, just so my eyes don't look really white, which they don't in the mirror, but on camera I feel like they slightly do, but they actually don't. It feels a little bit cakey, that powder. I think it was like €12.50 or something like that. It's not too bad. It's got a distinct smell. I'll keep giving it a go. Maybe it just doesn't work with this CCT. Maybe it just doesn't work with this CC cream, is what I'm trying to say. We'll just have to see how it goes. I just don't think I look... It's definitely matted me down. I'm definitely matte now. And it's got a very strong smell. Like a sweetie smell. Kind of. So I have dug out my Kevyn Aucoin, a Dual Pot palette, and I've not used this sculpting powder in the longest time, so I just thought, come on, let's use it. I'm not sure if the colour will suit me anymore, but we're just going to see. I have got other ones that I do use, but I just felt like being a bit different today. It's giving me a nice like subtle bronze, which is what you want for an everyday look. I'm just going to pat that through my forehead and just very, very lightly bronze that up. Okay, so that is quite nice, very subtle with that powder. I wasn't sure that they were going to fit together, but you know, it's trial and error, isn't it? Trial and error. And I always just tap my powder in and then blend it, rather than just go straight in with it. Just give it a little pat. Okay, so blusher, I'm going to go in with this Natural Collection by Boots. Who remembers Natural Collection? Well, it is, I think, again. And I'm just going to go in with this like rosy blush right here. It's actually called, it's called Rosy Glow. But I just think for the autumn winter, that's just a super, super nice blush look. So let's go in with that. So I'm just going to take this on a Beauty Bay brush and just get a little bit of product and just tap that up through the cheeks. Now this is a very, very buildable blusher. but as you can see, it just gives you like a really nice glow. Like you've just come in from a nice autumn walk and your cheeks are a little bit rosy. A little bit on the nose because I'm just feeling that life again. Okay, so loving the look. It's amazing. It's perfect for every day. I'm just going to do my highlighter, fix this, and then just set the face, a bit of lips. We'll be done. Okay, so for highlighter, I do want a little bit more of a pinky glow, because we've gone for like very rosy cheeks, we've gone for a very mauve look on the eye. So I'm going to go in with this colour right here, and this is my MAC Step Bright Up Extra Dimension Skin Finish Palette in light, and I did get this on sale at Next to quite a few cosmetics now, and quite a few high-end cosmetics, and they do sometimes have some good deals in their clearance. I think I paid about £15 for this. So I think the last highlighter that I did buy from MAC was like 22 quid, and that was in duty free in the airport. So, you know, and I've got 3 here and I think it cost me like 15, so it's always worth a little look. So I'm just going to give myself that little glow. I think I'm going to put a tiny amount, very lightly, on my brow bone and do the usual places. Okay, so I'm just going to go in with a little bit of setting powder, and I'm going to go in with the Beauty Crop Vitamin Babe, and this is a vitamin C setting powder, which is, it just says fixing powder, a hydrating setting mist. I've not had this long and look how much I've used already, so we are just going to go to town with it. I do just love the spray as well. It's not like, it's like just like a nice, not like, you know what I mean. So lips, I'm just going to go for a nice nude lip, and I'm just going to go in with a combination of like lip products. First I'm going to go in with this Natural Collection lip liner in the shade Mauve, because that's our vibe today. Now this Natural Collection stuff, back in the day, I also thought was like a bit pants. I mean, back in the day, talking like, I'm just going to zoom you out slightly. When I was a kid, like, and I'm old now. But I've got to say, I'm quite impressed with these products. And this lip liner, it's not the best I've ever used in my life, but for a drugstore lip liner, it's nice. And then I'm going to go in with my Urban Decay Liquid Vice matte lipstick in 1993. That looks super nice. Actually looks a lot darker than I thought it would. And just to give it a bit of dimension, I'm going in with this NYX Lingerie lip in Baby Doll. This is a very nude lip. I'll just put that in the centre. So this is the finished look right here. It's just, for me, it's just the perfect autumn look, perfect everyday look for back to school or back to work. If you want to change it up a bit, if you've been working from home and you want to go in and just change it up a little bit, then this is ideal. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you've recreated this look. Don't forget to tag me on my other socials. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, notification bell, all of that stuff. It really helps me out, and I love getting new subscribers. It absolutely makes my day, and I will see you in the next video, guys. Bye.